The BMW 3 Series is a global sales success. It offers a level of luxury, accessible driving fun, and thanks to that BMW badge up front, just a little bit of prestige. In the first 6 months of 2013, BMW sold 250,000 of these things. That makes me think that everybody in the world loves the 3 Series, except me. I have driven 2 different versions of this latest generation, and both have left me indifferent. And not because they were underpowered or underspec'd. The first one I drove was the 328, and the second one had a set of options to rival a Rolls-Royce. I just don't get the hype, and I still don't, and I think that has something to do with the looks of the thing. There are some cars which have a look that at first just doesn't grab you, but over time you begin to appreciate the finer details. This is not one of those cars. I'm still not used to the front end of the new 3 Series. For me, it looks more pinched than purposeful, and the rest of it isn't exactly spectacular, is it? Given that it's BMW's bread and butter car, I suppose it shouldn't be surprising that it has to strike a balance between being stylish and yet universally acceptable, so it can't be too outrageous, or as it seems to me, too interesting. To this particular car's credit, I will say that its pearlescent red paint job and shiny black bits do give it an attractive edge, and it is lower than I remember any of the others being, which makes it seem a bit sportier. That sportier look is a little ironic though, considering the engine in here. Given most BMW's inherent dynamic talent, it's unsurprising that people get more excited about the powerful versions like the 335i or the M3, but this is the 316 with a 1600 4-cylinder putting out 100 kilowatts and 220 newton meters. But with a combined cycle fuel consumption figure of just 5.8 liters per 100 k's, it couldn't be more sensible even if it was a diesel. It seems that this particular 3 Series then is more about practical daily motoring rather than powerful driving magic, and while I'm not exactly excited about driving this car, I am very interested. I thoroughly enjoyed the 1 Series with the same motor when I tested it, so I'm not expecting this to be bad at all. Straight away, it's impressive. This car weighs 100 kilograms more than that 1 Series, but it deals with that weight as though it was nothing at all. It's got good instant power that stays there all the way till the red line. The 8-speed automatic gearbox sometimes takes a moment or two to get itself together under load, but generally speaking, it is effortless. The kind of drive that's good in any daily situation, quiet and smooth in low-speed traffic, with the added fuel saving of the start-stop system, and good on the open road, where it has enough power to overtake when you need it. The only thing it doesn't have as standard is cruise control. You may think that this car is packed with an engine that is too small, but it is still a BMW, so it feels good. Put it into some corners and you're rewarded with good steering and a well-controlled chassis. It may be sensible, but it still lets you have a bit of fun. This is turning out to be an impressive package, and BMW's 1600 Turbo is proving itself to be one of the better motors made by a company who knows a thing or two about making motors. Soaking up the enjoyment to be had in the 316i has got me thinking. We do this job because, like a lot of South Africans, we love cars and we love an involving drive. And generally that means lots of power, feeling what the suspension is doing, experiencing how sharp the steering is. But there are people who don't care about that kind of thing. And if you are one of those people who doesn't need a big engine or lots of power and just wants a car to feel good everywhere without driving it to within an inch of its life, the BMW 316i is one of the better choices you could make. I'm almost certain it would be as comfortable without the ridiculous amount of options that BMW has crammed into our test car, almost 200,000 rands worth. Like the styling, I'm still not sure about the interior from a design point of view, with its red stripe running along the dashboard, but it does feature the floating switch effect as standard, although the sport seats, that steering wheel, the sunroof, the gloss black bits, the park distance control, the Harman Kardon sound system, the climate control, and a few other things aren't part of the standard package. The 316i might be the bottom of the range. It might have a small motor and not as much status as the others, but it is the most enjoyable 3 Series I've driven to date. It's got good power and decent driver involvement on a daily basis, and even though you can spec it up to the eyeballs with all kinds of fancy extras, there's really no need for them, because even without the options, it is a great car. The 1600 Turbo may not seem too impressive on paper, but on the road it's a superb bit of engineering, delivering good power through the 8-speed auto box. We're still not sold on the styling, and the same goes for some interior details, but the 316i is a great package, offering a comfortable and very capable everyday drive.